introduction, what comes to mind is the fact that there are different facets to a dance talent. As dancers, we were given different gifts and in different quantities. For instance, they can be people who are fantastic movers. This person has high degree of kinesthetic talent. She moves with great fluidity, connectedness, flexibility. She can see a movement with her eyes and she can easily repeat it. This type of person, this talent is similar to the talent of an artist who can see something and do freehand realistic portraiture, for instance. It's the same thing. The eye sees and kinesthetic ability allows this person to move this way. Then there are people who are incredible choreographers. They can create whole tableaus, have a whole works of art from different moves, different bodies, different visions. Then there are people who are visionaries, who have true artistic, poetic ability, seeing the trend, being able to create imagery that transports us, that transports us and transforms the dancer. Finally, there is instructional talent. There is a talent of being a really good teacher. There can be this fantastic, incredible dancer you met at a party. She is an incredible mover. She dances like a goddess. Her body moves in a way that you're just amazed. Where else is she dancing? Well, maybe she's dancing at this hookah lounge and at this bar mitzvah, and 10 or 15 years down the road, nobody remembers her. Nobody knows where she is because she never employed her talent to leave a mark on the artistic scene, to create works of art. She's just a dancer, a performer. Another example, there can be a person who is an incredible choreographer, sophisticated, everything comes together, everything looks incredible. Is this person necessarily a good mover? Well, not necessarily. Maybe in this or that case, the movement is a little stiff and her moves are kind of shallow and she is not quite graceful here, not quite graceful there. She's not a great mover, she's just a good choreographer. How about a person who is a fantastic visionary? And meanwhile, the visionary talent, it's not necessarily a dance talent. This person just employs the language of dance to write their poetry. Maybe this person is not exactly a good dancer and maybe even not a great choreographer. And we all know people like this, but fantastic visionary who can create a trend, a movement, a look, something that has a truly mass appeal. And we all know people who are maybe a great mover or a great dancer, fantastic choreographer, but can't really teach to save her life. And she's teaching. We know she's teaching over there, but we don't want to be her students. So if you received many of these gifts, you're lucky. But most of us get only some portion of it, and we work every day of our life to compensate by acquiring skills, by hard work, to compensate for the gifts that we're missing. So, for instance, if you are a person who has this visionary ability and you want to use the language of dance to express yourself, to express your visions, to tell a story, do you really need to study with another person like that? I understand that you're attracted to another visionary, to another poet, a person of great, true artistic ability, but maybe not necessarily, because what you really need is you need somebody to teach you the language. As a poet, do you want to study a foreign language with another poet? Maybe not. Maybe you need a teacher of a foreign language as a second language to learn words, sentences, grammar, and to be able to speak this language before you write the poetry. So you need somebody who is an incredible technician as your teacher, as their primary talent. If you are a great organic mover, and this is my case, this is my primary talent, I am a great mover. I can easily see the movement, I have high degree of kinesthetic ability, I easily learn, I can implement many sophisticated trajectories simultaneously. So do I need to learn with another one like me and then languish for the rest of my life in Moroccan restaurants and hookah lounges and bar mitzvahs rather than fulfill my destiny as an artist. No, I need to work with somebody who will give me a great schooling of choreography, give me a discipline to take this movement ability that I have and package it into something larger than just the talented body that I am. I need somebody to give me an ability to take those elements and create real works of art, leave a mark on the art scene. And finally, you certainly want to study with somebody who is a real teacher, who has methodology, who can break things down and serve them to you in a way that you can digest and enjoy while learning. So these are the things to keep in mind. I think it's all about the match between your abilities as a student and the primary talents of your instructor.
Looking to find a teacher in belly dance. I think that the first thing that they need to do is find out, what are they after? Are they looking to get out of the house once a week and hang out with their girlfriends and maybe sweat a little bit? Or are you really looking to become a better professional dancer? And I think that there's value in both of those choices, but I think it's important that the dancer understand what she's after. For me personally, I always wanted to excel as a professional dancer, so the types of traits that I'm about to describe are the ones that I was always looking for. First, I think it's important that you find a dancer that moves you. When you watch them dance, you can barely contain yourself in your seat because what they're doing is just so gorgeous and you want to learn it and you want to get up and you want to do it, right? I think that the second important thing, right, you have to have a great dancer. The second important thing is that teacher has to be well educated. That is from a physical perspective, your teacher has to understand what's safe, how to modify for injury. I think that your teacher has to have some basic awareness of music, history, dancer history. And I think that your teacher also has to know how to work with different types of students because people are going to learn differently. And third, I think it's really important, and it might be the most important thing, is that you find a teacher who knows, who understands that their job is to make sure that everybody in the classroom can become more successful than the teacher herself. So this is a lot about removing the teacher's ego and providing the student with all the tools that they need in order to succeed. And from there, I also just want to mention that I think that there's a difference between a teacher and a mentor. When you engage in a mentor relationship with someone, I think that it requires all of the aspects that I just mentioned for a teacher, but you're now getting into a really personal relationship with someone. And I think it is very important that you find someone that where there's mutual trust and respect, because you are walking blind and you're holding on to someone's hand, and you have to respect them and trust them enough to take the next step, and they have to respect and trust you enough to take you where you need to go. And if that respect and trust isn't there, they're going to take you where they want you to go. So I think, if you keep these elements in mind when choosing a teacher and a mentor, I think that it will lead to a very successful dance career and really help ignite your art and your craft.
When you're looking for a really good instructor, I think it starts with 3 separate yet equally important elements. You have, of course, the dance skill set, you have a performance skill set, and you have a teaching skill set. And we need to be a little flexible here because not everyone is going to have all 3 skill sets in equal measure. Some people just are amazing on the dance floor, but you get in the classroom with them and you're a little bit unsatisfied because that teaching skill set maybe isn't as great right now. I mean, it could evolve in the future. And there are other dancers that are perfectly competent, but maybe they're not like supernova when you see them perform. Yet in the classroom, they are just a brilliant conduit of information, and they totally transform your dance, which is actually what you're paying them for. So separate but equal, and keeping in mind, they might not all come together in the same package, but all of these are very, very valuable skill sets. So you do want to find the teacher that's got, like, you know, the highest markings in all 3 levels that you can. Another element that I think is really important is who taught the teacher. Some people find this very old-fashioned, but to me, there's 2 really great points of value in this. The most amazing amount of raw talent in the world is better when it is refined, when it is honed by teaching, by instruction. Look at Olympic athletes, right? Look at a diamond. Diamonds are at their most beautiful when they have been cut and when they have been polished. So it's an enhancement of, you know, an innate dancing skill set is some great instruction. And the other very valuable aspect to this is when that very well-trained dancer makes the transition to become an instructor, they are bringing this wealth of material into the classroom with them. So they have already, one hopes, been exposed to wonderful techniques and teaching strategies that are going to improve your dance. And that's just something you really want to be able to take advantage of that. Other, you know, I guess things we would think of more readily, a very good instructor will be punctual. A very good instructor will be prepared. There are certain things that should be done outside the classroom so that your time and money are not wasted in your, you know, hourly session or however long it is. I think a really great instructor teaches equally, equal opportunity instruction. Everyone in that room gets equal instruction and equal courtesy regardless of size, shape, ability. It is a totally egalitarian structure in the classroom. An excellent instructor is going to give you constructive criticism. You know, some people, they don't ever want to hear any criticism, but I'm sorry, you're never going to grow to your full potential as a dancer without it. A good instructor will provide this critical feedback to you, but in a non-derogatory and non-judgmental fashion. And to me, what really separates, like, your truly, truly, truly great instructors, it's kind of a difficult quality to define, but I would call it a quality of generosity, a spirit of generosity. This is an instructor that is in the classroom with you. They are reaching inside themselves, all of their talent, all of their training, all of their experiences, their tips, their tricks. They are sharing it freely. It's like, you know, welcome to the banquet, come and feast. And they give it to you, no strings attached. And these instructors are so delighted when they see their students shine, when they see students get it and move forward. And whether that moving forward means they themselves become professionals, or even if they move to another instructor that can provide things that this current instructor cannot, they are delighted that they were part of that process. They take pride in having been part of that process, not in a weird ownership way, which sometimes we see. You know, I taught her, I made her, she's mine. But again, freely given, that they were so happy they contributed to making you a better dancer, and so happy they have contributed to the belly dance community at large by putting good product out there. And maybe in the final analysis, if you want the best way to gauge whether someone is a really good instructor or not, look at their students. Their current students, their past students, what type of students have come from this instructor's teaching. And you will have a very accurate estimation of what kind of instructor you have.